So I'm a nutcase. This is an explanatory video about how I've handled some mental stuff through the years, more than 10 years, suffering because of the same reasons. I thought about covering my mouth, however, mainly because of aesthetic reasons. But then I came here, the air is fresh, so I decided the last minute that I was going to record this without any kind of a mask on or anything. I have already done a lot of crazy, weird stuff. I have said weird stuff also. Without having a mask on, I became accustomed to the mask when the pandemic came a couple years ago. So there's no reason why I should do that, right? I had no reason to do it. So I just decided to go straight to the point without any kind of stuff over my mouth or so, a mouthpiece. About the glasses, just I like them because they protect me from light. If it's too bright, I don't like it. Even when I'm in front of a television screen or anything. Normally, these countries, weather is very tropical, so we get to. I don't get to. How can I say this? I don't get to enjoy that much having bright eyes and such. So when I can have a pair of these, I put them on without thinking. So that was the title of the video. That I'm a nutcase. It's hard to explain, but I'm sure about one thing. Unbalance comes from having contact with other people. I reach a point when I am thankful enough for what I have, which doesn't belong fully to me because my family worked for it, that I don't mind coming to this realization. Of course, you have to go out and relate to people. Right now I'm outside. I'm not having any kind of panic attack or anything, but most of my issues, especially with my, how can I say this, my sexuality, the way I perceive myself as a being who is a woman and nothing else, and also my problems in regards to my own personality and preferences in many fields come from there. I think I was stupid not to drop out of high school. I have mentioned that to some people that know me, but yes, I'm a nutcase. I'm taking now medication once a day. I have parrots here. We have parrots here singing. Bah, bah. I didn't want to give up. I didn't want to throw the towel, but I have no issue because I experienced a very traumatic experience with which not being sent to study for a semester to a European college. So that broke my heart too much. I had already hit many. I think I went through several times when I was close to burnout, or when I experienced burnout. I think just like that, just studying and working, and if I was not doing one, I would do the other. So that was enough for me because I wanted to have at least a short-lived experience as a research student in the field of languages, and so I wanted to formalize what I have learned online on the internet, consulting dictionaries obsessively because of one wish, a very, very, very deep, well, not deep. I wish that I wanted to accomplish, but I was not sure about it. Yeah. It goes like this, well, my issues, I started to suspect that maybe I have some developing issue with my brain when I was 10. And for example, I would go out with my mama outside. We would go shopping, and then I started to spit, do this out of a sudden when I was nervous in front of somebody. I rarely was taken outside to have fun with kids my age, and my family was serious about the fact that I needed to study. There's a helicopter there. I think I want to wait until the helicopter passes because the sound is too loud. Oh my god. It's early in the morning, so we get this kind of stuff. Actually, I was waiting for some dogs to just disappear from view. Okay, so I was really taken outside to have fun. We didn't go on vacation, blah blah blah. Okay, every family has its own particular circumstances, But I started to suspect that I was wrong. There was something wrong about my head when I was 10. And I was pissed. I remember one time that we went shopping, and we suddenly came across the mother of one of my friends at that time. I have seen them now and then. She's not my friend anymore, but I liked her a lot. She was fun. She was one of the first girls that I became friends with when I started to attend a second school. So since I was nervous and I couldn't hide myself, I would just do this kind of stuff. I'm sorry about this, but I have suffered this, so I'm sorry if I'm insulting somebody, but I did something like just like that, And if I was nervous, I wouldn't hide myself or anything, but kind of spit on the floor. That kind of attitude repeated in my house. When I don't know, they would tell me something like, do this, don't do that, you're being too loud, etc. And I would spit on my house floor. Per day, I would spit several times. I don't know why. I was stressed, of course, but that was just normal, level. I felt a lot of sadness. I had a lot of tensions. I was all the time serious about study. I'm serious about study. That's how I was able to understand English up to this level. I am not a native speaker, but I wanted to learn because I made a promise with a friend in high school that I would take her to Europe and that we will travel together to Europe and such. So I was serious about studying. There was nothing wrong with it. Maybe I was too obsessed about it. But it was something that my family told me, and that I needed to shine on that field. I was happy, but I was very nervous, and they would notice that. But I think because of my age, people my age at that time were similarly, nervous. It's just that the problem in the classroom was with me, because I was the one who was the perfect student who have straight A's, and so then it got worse when I became a teen. I didn't look as stylish and beautiful as I look now. Look at this haircut. I look hot, right? No, I wouldn't say that. I don't like using that word. I use it more like for, I don't know, people that I admire, people that I follow. I don't know, maybe artists that I like. I'm very much into music, for example, and this has to be with my story. when I was 15, I became acquainted with the computers, and that kind of ruined my life, but also opened a new world, because suddenly I want to become like a 18th century guy from afar who wanted to go to any country that was also far away, just like my country, that not anybody knows a thing about. People get surprised, and sometimes they even confuse my country with other countries, the country where I was born. Well, the thing is that when I was 15, I started to kind of take some distance from my family, so I had a really nasty outlook. I didn't look well. So then my episode with anxiety, and I would say anxiety, every day started. I wanted to just leave this world, I didn't want to leave. It was hell every day, because they would pick me, they would pick on me, kind of bother me because of my hair. I started to just, what happened to kids, parents keep choosing their clothes until they're 20-something or so. I don't know, it depends on how much you live with your parents. Some things are embarrassing, others not, especially when you grow older and you feel destroyed, physically, mentally, sometimes and then you even shed some tears when somebody from your family, your grandma or so, if it just, your parents is even worse, gives you like a present for Christmas. When you were a teen, and you would be like a bastard, like a bad tempered person. I shouldn't have said that. When you were a bad tempered person, they wouldn't give anything for you. And suddenly you become older, and they buy you stuff for Christmas that makes me cry. It happened to me like last year, I think. So I will do like I don't know if you know this movie, The Exorcist. I hate anything that has to do with taboo topics such as that. I don't know. I think that kind of stuff exists, like spirits and such. For example, I don't like going to, cemeteries. It kind of scares me, even though I'm not Catholic. But I was all the time like watching behind me who was talking about me, and there was like a lot of preoccupations on my head. I couldn't empty my head. I didn't practice meditation of anything. And the worst part was that I didn't take mental medication. Like I said at the beginning, I started to take medication full time around March this year, because some miracles happened to me when I went outside. I met some people that I like, that I have followed for several years. But not just that, it was just that I was already too disappointed, because I have put on a lot of effort and I was not sent overseas. So I wanted to be part of the language research team, the language research institution of the college that I was attending. So it was too much pain. It's all too much. Just like a song title, just like the title of a song that I know. So I was very much worried, and every time before going outside, I like study. I didn't want to give up on anything because of a simple reason, just that, such as people looking at my hair and saying that was disgusting or something, or taking picture without my knowing. The worst part was, the comments about my physical appearance. I didn't want to give up because of that thing that you must give your best, show the people you haven't. So, but I regret it. So I went back on my steps. I went back to all the mistakes that I committed when I was a teen. So I went outside a couple of days ago on my own. and nothing of that happened, but I went through hell preparing for that, and also preparing for, living a normal life where I could feel like my heart was beating. I would feel love for people around me. I love my family, but I was all the time aggressive. Okay, I'm going back to the same idea. I woke up. I hit my head several times against the walls of my room until I passed out. I would put on music, high volume. Thankfully, I was not into drugs or anything, but I put on metal, pop, electropop, and then this idea about being part of the world and going outside and meeting the world, and so entered my head, but that kind of thing stopped me. I had that in my mind. I want to study for that feeling. I want to make some kind of contribution. Up to this point, I think I have not made any kind of contribution in that feeling in this country, but I don't mind. But yeah, I would look myself in the mirror, see how disgusting I was, and I would even take thirds of my hair out. I would just pull them out. And I would just go to classes like nothing had happened. There was a time when my parents were called, especially my mama, and she was asking if I was being beaten up by somebody, but it's actually myself, the one who was doing it. I avoided appearing on TV and such because I thought that, well, not TV, but maybe like social media. I was very conscious about my appearance, I think. So, like the wall came down, it collapsed when I saw that there were some people taking pictures without my name. But I mean, my face was depressive and such, so I didn't look like I was enjoying life. But there was no way I could be enjoying life that way. So it was the same thing, rinse and repeat all the time. The same stuff. There's some people passing here, so I'm gonna wait a little bit long. I'm gonna wait longer a little bit, because I don't want to annoy their peace. Okay, it's good to take like a pause, to talk about this. I had a lot of stress, and let's put it into better words. This stress inside my head. So the only thing that gave hope to my life was music. I would get up, feel like garbage, feel like trash, but then I listened to some songs telling me that there was something better for me, that I could be, that there was a shine in my soul that I could explore. And actually, I met last year in October that person who sings that is a foreign singer. I'm into foreign music because again, a helicopter. Because music allowed me like free English classes and such. But I was also into Japanese stuff and Korean stuff and such. I always wanted to get good at a very hard language, a very hard foreign language. So. But I have issues with my appearance. So. I think that I can consider myself a mentally handicapped person. But it's hard when you don't want to accept it because you don't want to hurt your family. But time passes and people don't forget. In my neighborhood, for example, like 2 years ago, around Christmas, there was like a innocent guy that told me that she had heard the rumors that I was possessed because I would scream. I scream also because I was in pain, people telling me the same kind of stuff. And I mean, time fixes everything. I'm more beautiful. Thank God, and thank my parents. I'm not a model. I'm not super beautiful, but things get better. I'm glad that that I have made it to this age, suffering, shedding tears, making a lot of efforts in many senses. But I was not good looking at that time. But and then I got people telling me to please do a makeover all the time and get a boyfriend. You need a boyfriend, so you need a makeover, and you need to fix your hair and do makeup. But I was supposed to do it all the time perfect. So that kind of stuff got in my head. At the end of the day, I could get the best results that time, and only like 10 people graduated from high school. It's a public high school. I tried to convince my parents to send me to a private one because I wanted to like do a test so I could go to Oxford or something like that. I wanted to go like any kind of historical college and have fun and kind of taste the culture. So I didn't accomplish it, but I was going to classes, and then I started to experience in college, which I already left behind. This thing about, hearing voices, because you're too much stressed, you're sleeping on your bed and you suddenly get up and you feel like somebody's choking you, and so because you don't have enough rest. So I thought that it was not a good life. So I have two choices in my life. Either I became a research student. I wanted to become a research student, get a scholarship, because sometimes it's hard, to get the money. And in my free time, go to any concert, to any of this, in this country where I was supposed to be studying in. And then the other option was becoming an artist. I have some nightmares, and I was called to a black room. I didn't believe in God. I think I became a theist. I liked saying that I was an atheist. I didn't believe in God when I was a teen because it was too much pain, pressure from your peers, from your parents and such. I didn't trust them. I didn't tell me what I was going through. I would be just shy and tell them, okay, I think I need a haircut and such. Yeah. This is stupid, but I think I needed to have this conversation. Record it. So I lost my point. And the other option was that. So I have been having medication against my will. This time I'm taking it because I want to be gentle to the world and also gentle to my parents because I love them. I just realized that, okay, they couldn't pay attention to me all the time, but also they were tired, sleeping, breathing every day, thinking about normal problems that arise in the household. And I would just think that both of them were against me and such. So yeah, it's just when everything was hard to control that I imploded, and there was a lot of problems, just such as taking alcohol and such, drinking alcohol. So the other option was that, like doing something artistic, because I was thinking, I'm a person who is very excited by media, so I wanted to do something. I never thought that I could accomplish anything great, especially because my country doesn't have like a good artistic medium. If I wanted to work on something, I will get my results and then visit any country that I like. I don't know, England, etc., or my own. This country is very peaceful, I think. People is kind of boring. We don't have like interesting events to attend. I have experienced some revelations in this country. Actually, there's a guy there, which is a DJ and has gone to Europe. I wanted to, say hi, but I'm recording this. The guy has like a pub or something, and only European bands come. So I have had some revelations here living, of course, like going up more, enjoying more events, but I'm not able to do stuff that I don't like. The guy again, the helicopter. I'm sorry for that. It's just that throat is getting, dry. So as I was saying, I have some very sad nightmares. There was like a loud voice, and I was called to an empty room, pitch black, and then that voice told me about some physical issue that I had when I was a kid, and they recognized that maybe that was God consciousness or something. So it was like That was what I'm doing. The other one was going to like a hell, and in hell, but it was like an Asian hell. Maybe, I don't know. Maybe I'm trying to interpret this. I'm reading too much, but since I consume some Asian media, maybe that was the issue. But with this other dream, when I was called to a room, there was no guy with a bird or something, just like you just see them in church imagery. It was just a room. So I said, "Is that you, God?" So this other one was in hell, or like a place where everybody was making a line with papers, and everyone was desperate. That was in the pandemic. What should we do now? How we can continue, with this situation going on? So that time is like they got like a paper signed. They put like a seal and they tell me, "You are an artist. That's what you must do in your life." And I was like, "What?" But I'm totally doing something different. I mean, I'm studying in order to go to another country and maybe see like some kind of show performed by an artist that I like. So that's what I decided to do. I try so much every semester. Okay, this semester is gonna work because I have a better average score. It didn't happen, so it was too much. Losing face or not being able to do what you like for your society is pretty hard. Nothing hits you as hard as that. So I went back and I started to take a medication. I've been taking some drops since March. I feel relaxed. I don't have high expectations anymore. I have lost shame. I get more relaxed. When I was a teen and that kind of stuff happened to me, even though I was making the best for my institution, for my family, who just wanted me to get good results. And also for myself, because if I had a high score, I could enter a good college. I couldn't even do normal human stuff, such as going to the bathroom, sneezing or so, or arranging my hair like this normally, because I was stressed and I was trembling. So I fought against tremors, nervous tremors. I hit myself, I slapped myself in order, I don't know why I did that, but some time ago I was looking for it in a different language, because I think that English is like has a lot of, it's like it might be the universal language of knowledge, and also in Japanese. I don't know what I did, I know some of it, a little bit of that language. I read like an article about a girl who did the same. There's people which have Tourette, that kind of stuff, and hitting people and, saying nasty stuff to your family members. I did that with my mama. There's a blur, because I was stressed. Like, I'm trying to concentrate. But sometimes I got angry, and I would just throw things around, and even before, okay, like the police, I have some issues with police because I couldn't control my temper, but I didn't do any robbery or anything, but that's when I hit low, and I had to graduate doing that kind of stuff, just because I have those issues. Somebody was bothering me in high school, I didn't say anything, I didn't protect my mind. I had to take medication because I was completely out of my head, detached from reality, and I didn't do it. So that's a thing you can regret, yeah. It's not a romantic video, no, but I just had to do it. So my only refuge was music. Music, it keeps being one of my only refuge. I collect music. I became obsessed about music, collecting and so, but it has given me so much happiness that I cannot even tell you. So yeah, a lot of stuff had happened, and I'm too sorry for my family. I already asked them for forgiveness. My father, thank you for supporting the household. My mother, thank you for loving me all this time. So I wake up now and I kiss my mama on the forehead and so. And even though I keep having the same ambitions, which is connected to different stuff, and I also like foreign countries. I try to control myself, so I would advise anyone who's attending high school and is going through the same feelings just to go to medication. Even if you feel embarrassed, just like me, I wanted to cry and say how stupid I felt, how silly I felt, how worthless, how shy. I wanted to cry for everything. I did it in my house. I couldn't sleep. I ate in the early hours of the morning. I didn't do it. But then, you realize just like high school is not that important, such as losing a job or anything. A lot of stuff has happened to me. I have given my best, and I have not received any kind of at least not the price that I was wanting for. So I became that kind of a being, yes. So I was reading this article, a Japanese girl that I found. It is the same. I hit myself. I do this, I scream, and she was like, I don't know what's gonna happen to me, but there was one time when I challenged myself to go to Britain, and she accomplished that, and I accomplished going to Japan a couple of days ago. It wasn't my priority. I think I wanted to go to Europe, but then in Japan I went to places where they had like European culture, such as I went to a place where they have like a mural from the Second World War, and it's an European beer garden, German style place where you can go and have beer. So it's just like so polite that need that I have for, because I was rejected. I want to go to Europe, and so meanwhile, since I'm here, I'm gonna make the best out of this time. I'm gonna also experience Europe in Japan, which is one of the best countries in Asia where you can experience that. I don't know, that's just a very quick description of what I went through, because it's too painful to even talk about. I don't know how I survived so much physical fatigue and so much physical suffering without saying anything. It's just because my country is Catholic also, so I had to stigmas, being kind of a CRAY, and also having a Catholic family who only believe in that I could kill myself with that, but I couldn't. Actually, until I was like around 15, I went to church because it was a custom in my family, a tradition, but I stopped going when I discovered, Korean pop and Korean dramas and such, but I have a lot of interest. I think I like, what I like the most about countries, mainly like England, Japan, maybe Germany, Korea, South Korea. And the music is very, I'm very open about that topic. Another stuff is that it was not only suffering because of my appearance, that experience also, I had some acoustic hallucinations, I think. I don't know if it was because I was, doing the thing of hitting my head against the walls of my room, or it was just a normal stuff, but, well, it's not normal. It was just like a phenomenon that my body was going through, but I heard people scream, and it was unbearable, as if I was hearing demons. I heard my family say stuff that was not good, because parents get mad and such, and it would be unbearable. So I would cover my ears like that. I didn't want anyone to consider me an autistic person, but I did this, and I would tremble and such. So that allowed me to learn English very quickly, even a little bit of Japanese, because I was obsessed about how good their pop music is. Really good. Go if you like real pop music who has quality. Go, book your trip. But yes, I think I have hallucinations, acoustic hallucinations. Suddenly a car will pull up, a car will stop in front of my house, and I will hear people shut the door, even if they didn't do it loudly, and I will go, I can take this, that kind of stuff. So yeah, I think it is my faith music. I don't practice music. I was too shy to practice that. I like it. Sometimes I do karaoke in my house. But yeah, that's the story of the suffering of my brain so far. I've less than 30 years in this world. Strange stuff about that is that since I had those hallucinations, hearing low noises as loud noises and loud noises as low noises, that's kind of confusing. You can get by this comment that I was not born speaking this language. I just feel like it's better to explain this way, so I chose English. Even because of that, I kind of started to hate like the actual accent that people have in this country. It's not a heavy accent, it's more like relaxed, but I couldn't stand how people spoke, so I just kept to myself in my room, and then I worked very hard in order to get an accent. My accent is very mixed. Sometimes I sound like this, sometimes I sound more Americanish, mainly because I will listen to dictionary clips all the time, repeat and repeat the same word until you memorize the meaning, and it has like 2 meanings or 3 meanings. That's usually the case for English words. And also memorize what the spelling is and how you say it. It's complex. I mastered to a very decent level a very complex language, so I feel kind of sad because of all the pain that I have gone through. There was nothing wrong with being a college teacher, but I think I'm too tired, and the physical symptoms that I was going through, it was too unbearable. I thought I was going to die. There was one time when I wake up in my house, and it was a weekend. I woke up and I was screaming, and I woke up praying because I thought I was going to hell. I was paralyzed. It was a sleep paralyzed episode. Too weird. So yeah, that's the kind of head that I have. Also, in society, I know that I'm a woman, but I kind of see like socially as a man. Like I want to experience things as a man. There's one strange stuff that I have discovered being supported by either both by men and women is that men fall in love very quickly. It's not because of me, it's just because they fall in love very quickly. So I feel sorry for them, but I also admire the fact that they can stand a lot of stuff and keep going. So that's what I have tried to copy, because some women can be lazy ever since their teens. Well, even that I put it into question now, having gone through some stuff like being treatment and such. I'm very civic oriented, so I wanted to have fun and learn what I liked, but also I wanted to kind of do some kind of service for this country. But as time has gone by, I have learned the value of the tribe, your family, your small clique. Even if your family can be extended and you can have, people that you totally love online, on X or anything. There's also family, but taking into consideration all the sacrifice I have made, I consider that it's not worth to sacrifice yourself in order for people to have it better in this nation, for the Costa Rican nation. Now that's too crazy. I mean, I'm very much into my hobbies. I can be kind of silly sometimes, like having different versions of the same album also, but I don't know. It's kind of like my salvation. I don't know. Of course, my family, not that much my siblings, because they were out working. Were very much surprised by my strange attitudes. I look like an animal. I think they judge me wrong. I think that people can have burnouts ever since they're kids or so. It's just that your brain shuts down because you don't have fun. And there was also some kind of torture because my parents would hide my toys, and even during vacations it would be just studying, and repeat the same stuff again and again and again. I think there's some kind of bad parenting. I don't blame them. I have forgiven them, and I have forgiven some people also. I don't know what they will think. They will see me this way, that I have become a good, nice looking lady somehow. But I'm also sad right now because of my failures, because there's so much people in this world. If you want to have a kid, really think it twice. How much suffering you're going to bring to this brain, that kid, that lovely kid who's doing this blah, 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 right now, has to choose a sexuality when he grows up, has to choose a living. And some people is just gonna get outright rejected even if they do a good job. I think I was perfectly, I had a good profile in order to go to Europe and visit as an exchange student, even as a business professor, but it's too much. I just called that shit. I'm sorry. But I didn't accomplish that because there's a lot of people in this world making the same kind of I do complain. I love people. I love humans. I love humans' warmth. And I also like music. Humans are just strange, weird creatures that is something you hate, something you love. But there's something to live for. Even if it's even the stupidest reason can keep you going. But think about that. If you want to have an expert on anything, he's going to have to compete against a lot of people. He's going to become crazy. He's going to visit the madhouse one day, even for treatment, just like me. I woke up in March one day. I had a flu, and then I decided to go and ask for medication. It was not the greatest thing. It didn't have any kind of prestige for me going there, but since I was not stressed or having any kind of episode, doctors treated me really well, and I could get what I wanted, and now I'm kind of more relaxed, working on what I want to do. Having an active life, doing my own stuff, loving myself, I don't know, a lot of stuff. Being thankful, resting my poorly damaged head in many senses. Yeah. The first moment people start doing that kind of stuff, they need to be under treatment. But if they need to be under treatment, it's better just to tell them, don't go to school anymore. Because it's not like you're gonna take your kid and isolate him or isolate her. But sometimes it's better, in order for the treatment to work. Treatment has worked for me because my brain was inflamed, so since I'm already an adult, I don't mind taking that decision for myself. I'm not gonna lose anything interesting or relevant in this country, especially. I don't miss anything. But yeah, it's an epidemic, Some people can complain and say that there's a lot of diseases now of the head, but there's a lot of concepts, different concepts. Thinking, making words, and using those words to describe something is starving. It's not the fact of recognizing yourself as gay or as a handicapped person. I recognize myself as a handicapped person because I think it's just better to be honest, but the tyrant thing about humans is producing knowledge and having concepts, and the fact that none of those concepts is actually real. It's just an approximation. So yeah, I have gone from wanting to die every day to wanting to rest and make some sacrifices just for a couple of days of happiness, just like I had between March 29th and June the 2nd. I was alone on my own. I felt relaxed. What I really liked about being in that country was that people helped me. I interacted with a lot of cute people. I don't care if they're actually cute or not. They treated me cutely and even gave me food from their table. it was too shocking, such a big country, so many people, and they gave me food. It really melted my heart and such. So now I can socialize with people, being relaxed and accepting that some moments can be boring, such as eating and scratching your head and such. That's the hard part, accepting the half, your animal half. The other one is like an angel. I don't know. I like seeing it that way. But the animal has to be in control in society, so... Yeah, depending on the cases and how much disappointed somebody can be, I would advise, if you really feel like life is done at 15 or something, just go outside and cry as much as you want to your therapist or anything. Expose yourself to being laughed at. And try to see that very underneath they're doing a job even. Interaction with humans can have several levels. I just didn't want people to make fun of me or even cry with me. I was more worried about laughs, but then I don't care a lot about laughs. I don't mind as long as I'm doing what I want and I'm doing anything weird. I had to control myself a little bit, What is coming for me more is women. I don't know, maybe because I have a very healthy relationship with my mama, so when I was a teen, my stress was on music made by women, so that also brought another social trauma, which suspicions about my sexuality and such. Yeah, but leaving that all behind, yeah. Yeah, I'm a mental case. Maybe I don't know if I'm exaggerating, but maybe I'm one of the most difficult clinical cases, mental cases in this country. I have done a lot of shit. But strangely, I have never committed to take my life or something. It's just that I want to keep going so people can take me seriously. But even as a teacher, even with that profile that didn't take me seriously, it was not worth it. The kind of preparation, yeah. So yeah, final message. I'm doing this because I'm expecting some people to find peace. So if they need to take some time in order to isolate themselves and have that treatment, have it, please. Don't push yourself. You don't need to land a job immediately after graduating. You don't even need to finish high school. I don't know. There's a lot of stuff. I have done my best because of that. I like to show like a masculine proficiency on any kind of job that I have done for the companies that I have worked for. So this is just grass. I do my best, and that's why I fall so easily into burnout. I don't leave anything for the other day. I just try to solve every problem the same day, the same week, without waiting. I don't like making customers wait or anything like that. I don't know. My clients, or not my clients, the company's clients. But even that has not helped me somehow. I like a lot of stuff, especially sensory stuff. I like this for a long time. When I was younger, like 10 years ago, 15 years ago, around here, around this neighborhood, I walked around listening to music with my head down all the time, feeling disappointed. Depressed, and so I'm gonna tell you, yeah, this country is not very good. I don't like it. I just love my family, but this country I don't like. I don't feel like as a normal human being you will feel thankful for being born in this country. I'm sorry. Even considering the guy that I told you about, my friends and my family, it sucks. Now I have overcome that. There was also no trauma on my face. I overcame that by losing face socially and not accomplishing what I want. So I'm not ashamed to show my face and say something that is hard to process. in that sense, yeah. I think I have already said everything, yeah. It became a very long one, so I'm just gonna leave it here. Peace. Peace. Peace.